This one is the updated video of our decentralized chat application project we have built. In this, I will show you the minor changes you have to do to run this application. Many of you have asked me that is this project still relevant in 2024 because this project is quite old. What are the changes you have to do to make it work? That's all I'm going to cover it. Many of you have faced few errors related to the node npm package. That's also I'm going to tackle that how you can make it compatible with the Hardhat and how you can execute and what are the steps you have to follow and what bug we have fixed in this particular project. With that, let's start. Here we have this two folder. In that we have the entire source code of our chat application which you and I built together, and I believe that you guys have followed this project. We got amazing response, amazing feedback, so make sure to check this particular project if you haven't built. In this video I'm going to show you that how you can fix that minor problem. In this I have done a couple of major up to it which you have to do because recently there is a lot of changes happen in the Hardhat packages and in the network. So it's a minor changes which I already explained in the tutorial, so make sure to watch that. So this is what you will get. This is the entire contract we have coded in the project. So you will find all the contract. It's quite huge because in this we are following a different architecture. We are following a KB 256 to simply encrypt the data and match with one another, so you can simply check that one. Now let me talk about the update I have done in the code base because recently you cannot able to deploy the contract to the Polygon Mumbai because it's depreciated and it has a new network, and I have also done the configuration for the MetaMask. So what you have to do is come back in the context, and this is the exact thing you will get in the final source code. So make sure to come back into the updated folder, chat app context and constant. So if you click on that, here you will find I have done all the network configuration. So I'll show you the both way that how you can use and test the contract and deploy in your local system using Hardhat, and how you can do that automated configuration. Then we go to move to the test network, Polygon MOA network, which is the recent network created by Polygon. Mumbai is depreciated right now, so we're going to deploy our contract to this particular network. So this is the configuration I have done. I have explained you multiple times in the project, so make sure to follow that. Here we have done this one. This is the change network configuration, and here we have the network. So no matter which network you want to connect with, so I have given list of all the network. All you have to do is to simply give the name of the network here, and it will automatically configure the entire configuration which we have explained here right up here. So like earlier we have to put all of this detail manually. So if you want to configure the local host, so we have to provide the chain ID, name, currency, symbol and RPC endpoint. So you don't need to configure this manually in your MetaMask. It will automatically configure this. So first we're going to test on localhost. So this is what exactly you will get. Now there are a few requirements we need to check before we actually run the code, because this Hardhat package which we are using is not compatible with the latest node version. So you have to use the exact node version and npm version which I'm using. So this particular version is not compatible, and recently they have not updated their Hardhat package. So we have to check our node version. So first open up your terminal, and I'm already running this project. You can see it's running. I'm going to simply stop that one, and I'm going to show you from start. So this is what you will get in the final source code. Now first thing you have to check the node version. So make sure you have to come back into this particular directory. So let me show you. So right now I'm into the main directory, chat app. In that I have this two folder. I have to get into this. So I hope you know how to get into this particular folder. Simply type cd, come here, type cd and give the name and hit enter. Now we are into this particular directory. Now we have to check the node version. So simply type node-v. So right now we are using this particular version, and this particular version is 100% compatible with Hardhat, and you will have no issue testing your contract deploying. If you check the npm version, we have the same case v, and we are using this npm version. So this is the two requirement you need to have. At the end I will show you that if you don't want to use Hardhat, then you can use remix ID for deploying the contract and generating the API, and you can use the latest node version. There is no problem. So I'll show you that method as well. So this is what we have. First we're going to test using Hardhat. So once we check our node version, now we have to clear our terminal and we have to start and install all of these packages. So all of these packages, simply type npmi, and it's going to install all of the dependency which we have included in our project, including Web3 model, React. That's all it's going to install. So just wait, it's going to happen very quickly because we are using very light packages. So we have installed successfully. Some of you have run this particular command. Don't run it, okay? Because if you run this particular command, it's going to change the package version and it's going to take the updated one, and in that way this application will not work because we are using different configuration. So never run this force command. Once you're done with that, simply clear your terminal, and now we are ready to start our local node and deploy the contract locally. So if you come back here in the context, you can see here we are going with the local network, and here we have the local network. So first we are testing locally, then we go to move to the test network. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply start my local node. So I'll type npx hardhat and node. This will start the local node in my system, and I can able to test the contract and deploy using Hardhat in our local environment. So when you will run this particular command, Hardhat will give you 20 plus account, and each account will consist of 10,000 fake ETH, faucet you can call it, and we're going to use these accounts to simply do the transaction and test our contract. So all you have to do is to simply copy the address and simply import in your MetaMask. I have already done couple of account, but you have to copy it, and by default Hardhat is going to take the very first account. So this is the 0 account, and Hardhat will use this account to deploy your contract. No matter how many contract you deploy, this is the account Hardhat you are going to use it. So once we have this up and running, now we can simply come back to the script. Inside the script we have this two deployed script. So this one is for Polygon test network, and here we have for the Hardhat. So simply copy this command, and that's what you have to paste. Make sure you have to be in the same directory. Updated code. I'm into the same directory. Now I'm going to simply run this particular command. I'm going to simply hit press and hit enter. This is going to compile my contract and is going to give me the artifact, and it will going to give me the address of the contract. So I'm going to simply copy this address, come back here in the constants, and here we have that. So I'm going to simply replace. So when you will deploy your contract using Hardhat, Hardhat will always give you the same address for the very first contract deployed. And if you have multiple contract and deploying one by one, then the second contract address will be different. But this is the same address you will get if you deploy your contract. In your case, you will have the same address as the way I got it. So this is the first thing. Now you can see the moment you will deploy the contract, it's going to compile it and it's going to generate the artifact. And this artifact will consist of our ABI. So you can see this is the ABI which Hardhat will generate of our contract, which we're going to use it to test and interact with our contract. So here I have given the ABI, so I'm going to simply delete it. And when you make any changes in your contract, so here we have written the contract. Whenever you make any changes in the variable or even in a comma or even in this comment, you have to change the ABI. You have to provide the latest ABI which you have compiled. Otherwise, it's going to throw an error. So no matter whenever you change anything, you have to provide the updated ABI. So when you will deploy, it's going to compile and it's going to give you the updated API. So I have this, simply drag and drop here. So this is the second thing. Once we deploy, we have to simply drag and drop the ABI. Now we are ready to test our application. So here we have done the configuration automatically. So if I come back here, you can see we have done all of this configuration for the network, and we have already explained all the things which we want to add in our MetaMask. So this is the chain ID is going to take, and this is the name, this is the currency and symbol, and this is the RPC endpoint. Right now you can give anything because we cannot able to check in the Explorer. So that's why I have given this dummy one. But if you are testing in test network, in case of Polygon MOI, you can see I have given the real test explorer. So you can configure all of this. Earlier we have to configure all of this data in manually, but this time you don't need to do that. So I would suggest you, before you run the application, simply come in the browser and open up your MetaMask. So first we're going to do the testing on localhost. Then second, we're going to do the testing in our Polygon MOI. So if I come back here in the Ethereum and I can come back here, you can see I have already added this localhost. So I'm going to simply delete this one, and you have to delete it because this time I'm going to show you the automated configuration. And this is the account which I have imported. You can see it has 2266, and that's the account I have imported because Hardhat will give you 20 plus account, and this is the account which I have imported, 2266. If you want to import, simply copy the private key of this particular account, go back to accounts, and here you have this particular, click on that, import account, and paste here, click import. I have already done the import, so I'm getting this particular warning. But in your case, if you want to import all these account which Hardhat provide 20 plus, so you can simply do exactly the same way. So this is how you can import your account. Right now we have connected with this one, but there's no value we have on Ethereum. So now we're going to start with this. So there is no localhost available here. So what I will do, I'm going to simply close this one. Now I'm going to come back to the application. Now I'm going to start the application, and this particular data which we have configured is going to automatically configure and add it into our MetaMask. So let's type this command. So if you come back to the script package.json file, you can see this is the command we are running for dev. So simply type npm run dev, and it's going to start our application on localhost 3000. So this is our application is running. Simply copy this one, come back in the browser, open a new tab and paste here and hit enter. Here our application got started. Right now it says connect. If you reload the page, it will automatically popped up, and here it will automatically going to add all of this data. So localhost, RPC endpoint, chain ID and go. So or simply click on this approve, and it will switch the network from the whatever network you are connected to the defined network which we have mentioned in our code. So simply click on this switch network, and here we are connected with this particular localhost. You can see this time the localhost configured successfully. So this is the advanced setting we have done, and automatically, because we have running our node, so make sure you have to keep running this node. You have to keep running this node. So the node is running, and here you will find that we have used this particular account, the first account, for deploying our contract. So that's why it has less fun. But if you check the other account like 4, 3 and 6, which is the Hardhat account, and this is 1 and 2 is my real account. So this has all the value. So I'm going to click on this connected, and before you create your account, you have to make sure you have to clear your MetaMask history. And this is the exact thing you have to do whenever you change your account. This is the exact thing you have to do, otherwise the transaction will fail, because this is the weird problem we have in the MetaMask, and this only happen when you test the contract locally using Hardhat. So simply click on this and click on this activity tab and reload the page. Right now we don't have any user. Come back to the all, there is no user. Now we're going to simply create a new account. So click on this create a new account, and this will automatically fetch our wallet address, that this is the address we are using for enrolling into our Dapp chat Dapp. So simply type Daulat Hussain, and I'm going to click on this submit. It's going to open the MetaMask, and I have to simply confirm the transaction. So just wait, click on confirm, and here the transaction went through. I'm simply logged in, and right now we don't have any user because you cannot be friend with yourself, and this is the advanced feature I have included. So if I come back here, earlier we were displaying this particular data here, but that's the advanced feature we have done in the context. So you can see that's the filtration method I have built here, and this is what we have covered here. Okay, I'm just pausing this here so you can simply copy it. So we have this filter method, that's the filtration function we have added, and here we have this particular method we are calling. So here we have the app user. We are simply removing the user who's already connected with the application from all the user. So this is very basic, which I have explained extensively in the project. So make sure to follow the complete project. So we got our first, I got myself registered here. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to simply change my account and create a different account from different wallets, so I can be friend with Daulat and we can have a communication. So I can simply click on the advanced, clear, and reload the page. And if I do that, you can see if I come back to the all user, reload the page, I have to create my account. So simply click on this create, and I'll say MD Shahir, click on the submit, and it's going to open the MetaMask, and I have to simply confirm the transaction to register myself. So click on confirm, and here I have this. So Daulat is displaying. The moment if I come back to the chat right now, I don't have any friend. So now I can be friend with Daulat. So simply click on this add friend. It's going to open MetaMask, and I can simply click on this confirm. And here I got friend with Daulat, and you can see that user is got removed from here because this is the advanced filtration we have included. So make sure to check the complete project. Click on this, and here you will find that this is my friend Daulat, and I can able to send him the text message. So I can come back here, I can simply get this dummy text, and I can simply paste here and say send. It will open this pop-up model, and I can simply confirm the transaction, and this message is sent to Daulat. If I click on this, you can see here I can type more, hey Daulat, and I click on this send, and here the transaction is getting completed. Got it? If I switch my account to account number 3, I can able to read all the messages which Daulat has sent. So I can say here, make sure to change your clear or MetaMask history, otherwise the transaction will fail. This is the problem we have in the local testing. Reload the page. If I come back here, so I'm already friend with Sahir, I can click here, I can able to read all the messages, and I can able to send. So I'll say hey Shahir, and I can say message, and click on confirm, and I got the message. So it looks absolutely fantastic. So this is how you can see, create and become a friend and send the messages. You can do the same thing with a different account. Like I have one more account, so I'm going to create one more account. So let's come back here,
clear the MetaMask history and reload the page. And now you have to create an account. So I'll say Schwab buy, click on the submit. It's going to open the MetaMask and you have to confirm the transaction. And the transaction is confirmed, and now you can be friend with any one of these. So if I want to become a friend with Dapp, click on that and I can simply click on this confirm, and I'm friend with Dapp, so it's got removed. And here we have this one user. So if I come back here in the chat and I can able to send the message, hey Dapp, click on this send. It's going to open the model and I can simply confirm the transaction, and the transaction is completed. If I go back to the account number 3, Dapp account, I can clear the history and I can reload the page, and you can see I have this 2 friend. If I go to the 1, there is no friend, but this is the 2 friends. So I can able to read all the messages from Sahil. I can able to read all the message from Schwab. I can say, hey Schwab bye, and I can send the message. It's absolutely wonderful. And we have sent the message. You can able to see all of that. So it looks absolutely fine. I hope now you have understood that how you have to do the setup in the Hardhat environment. Now let me show you how you can do the setup if you want to deploy to the Polygon MOI. So first thing we have to do is, let me simply bring it up. I'm going to simply close this one and I'm going to stop this Hardhat, because this time we're not going to use Hardhat. We're going to use our test network. So we have to be into the same folder, and I'm going to simply change the network. So I'm going to use this particular network, and that's what I have to change here. So this is the first thing, first change you have to do. Now you can simply delete the artifact or you can keep it, there is no problem. You can simply delete this API, because if you make any changes in the contract, then you have to provide the updated API. But if you are not making any changes, you can use the same API. But for the being on the safer side, I just want to tell you to remove that. So this is how you can remove. Let's remove the artifact. And here we have this one, which we don't need it. Now this time we're going to use the Polygon test network. So that's the change you have to do in the network. Once you're done with that, close this one. Now I can come back here in the script, and here we have this particular command which we have to run. But before you run this particular command, we have to do a couple of changes in our Hardhat config file. So come back, because this time we are deploying to the test network Polygon. So come back here, and this is what we have. This is for the local test, but I'm going to configure for the Polygon test network. Now to deploy our contract to the Polygon test network, this is the exact configuration we have to do in our Hardhat config file. So first thing, you need this RPC endpoint. So this is the RPC endpoint for Polygon MOI test network, and here you have to provide your private key. So here I've done a couple of configurations. So when you are testing in your Hardhat environment, you have to simply remove this one, and you have to comment this, and you have to simply comment this when you are testing in your Hardhat environment. But when you are testing on the test network like Polygon, then you have to bring it back, and you have to get your private key of the wallet which you want to use for deploying the contract. So now let me show you how you can get that. So now you can come back to the browser and open up your MetaMask. And the one thing you have to keep in mind, that you cannot use the Hardhat account for deploying the contract to the actual test network like Polygon, Gorilla, Sofali. So make sure you have to use your real wallet address. So when you will create a MetaMask account, it's going to generate the accounts for you. So I have this 2 account, which is my real account, just for testing on the test network, actual test network. So I have already configured this particular network for Polygon test network, but don't need to worry about it, because we already have that configuration right up here in our context. So if you don't even have it, it will automatically configure it. So first thing you have to do, come back here and go back to the actual account which you have, and you have to get the private key of that particular wallet. So I'm going to use this particular account for deploying. So I have to use the private key of this particular account. In this particular account, I already have this much fund for Polygon test network. But in your case, if you don't have that, then I can show you how you can get that. So come back here, open a new tab and type Polygon faucet. And here you will come, click on the very first link, and it will take you here. And from here you can claim free faucet for your wallet, so you can deploy the contract and test it. So this is what I have. Make sure you have to. So I already connected with and joined their Discord server. So it's a 2-step authentication. First you have to click on this connect with GitHub. It will take you to Discord server. Here you have to do the authorization, and it will bring you back on the faucet page. So here it's loading, and just wait, just give some time. Here I got it. So I have already joined their Discord server, so that's why it's not asking me to join again, because I have already done it. But in your case, if you are joining it for the very first time, you have to simply click on authorize, then it will redirect you again here. Then you have to simply click on submit and join group. After that, you can come back here. So I'm going to simply change the network. So I'm going to use this Polygon, and I'm going to take the same currency. I'm going to open this one, and I have to get my wallet address. Simply copy. That's what I have to paste here, and click on this submit, and it's going to transfer point to Meti to my wallet address. Click on this confirm, and it's going to make the transaction. So just wait, the transaction is in process, and you cannot claim the token, like you can claim only one time in 24 hours. So here the process is taking a little bit time. Maybe the transaction will fail because yesterday I did the transaction and I already have this much fund. So maybe it will fail, but this is how you can claim the token which you can use for deploying the contract. So it's taking a little bit time, but the process is exactly the same. Request in process, your request in process, it may take up to few seconds to complete the request. You can see it's taking a little bit time, but I'm going to close it. In your case, you have to simply wait. Once the transaction will complete, it's going to transfer the fund, but I already have this much fund, so I'm going to use it. Now the second thing is, once you get the fund, you have to get your wallet private key. So click here, go to advanced, click on the show private key, type your MetaMask password, hit enter, and it's going to give you. So simply click on the hold, and here we have. So simply copy this one and click on done. So once you copy, come back to the code, and that's what you have to provide here. That's what you have to provide here. So I'm going to simply provide, just wait. So I have successfully provided my private key in the Hardhat config file. Once you're done with that, make sure to save it, and now you can simply close this one. Close this one and come back here, and this is the command we have to run. So we have done all the setups. Simply copy this one, open up your terminal, and this time we don't need to run the local Hardhat node because we are testing on the test network Polygon. So make sure you have to be into this particular folder and simply paste the code. So this is the one, copy and paste, and it's going to deploy the contract. So simply hit enter, and it will deploy the contract to the test network. So here it's compiled successfully, and we got a new artifact. Inside that we have this contract, and here we have the ABI. So I'm going to simply drag and drop this new ABI and paste here. And when you are actually deploying the contract to the actual test network, it takes time because it's actually a test network. So finally we got the address of our contract. We're going to simply copy this one, and that's what exactly we have to provide here. Here we have to replace. So I'm going to simply replicate this, and I will say this one is Hardhat address, and this one is the Polygon, because in the final source code this is what exactly you will get. So I'm going to simply comment this portion, and I'm going to replace the address here, because this time we are interacting with the contract which deploy on Polygon, and that's the only thing you have to do. We have already done the configuration for the network, so this time we're going to interact with this network, and if you open this on, you will see we have provided the chain ID. This is the name, is going to reflect Mati and symbol decimal. So this is the RPC URL we are using for connecting with the Polygon blockchain test network. So once you're done with that, simply make sure you have provided this Polygon MOI, and now you are ready to test that. So before we test that, let me show you. I'm going to simply delete this network to show you it's working fine. The configuration we have done is will work fine. So I have changed the network, so let's got it back, and I'm going to simply remove this network. So we have removed that. Now I'm going to simply close this one, open a new tab, and let's start the application. Type npm run dev. It will start the application on localhost 3000. Here we got it. Simply copy it, come back here, paste, and hit enter, and here you can see it's working absolutely fine. Here say connect wallet. So click on this connect wallet. Is going to open the model, and here it is going to configure the Polygon test network automatically into our MetaMask. So click on approve and click on this switch network, and here we are connected with the network. Now simply reload the page, and we are connected. So make sure before you make the transaction, make sure to clear your MetaMask history. But this problem will not happen in actual test network. It's only happen when you use Hardhat. But for being on the safer side, you have to clear your MetaMask history. Now once we're done with that, now I can simply click on this, and I can create my account. I'll say Daulat Hussain, and click on this submit. It's going to open the MetaMask, and I have to simply wait, click on confirm, and here the transaction is happening. You can see the loader is also working fine. It's in the pending state. Once the transaction will complete, it will redirect us to the home page, and here we have the account is in the pending mode. Just wait, soon the transaction will complete. It's taking a little bit time. And finally the transaction is completed. Here we have redirected to our chat page. If you go here, there is no user available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the account, and this time we're going to create an account without clearing the history. So see, sometime it's failed, sometime it will work. So let's see what reaction we get this time. So I have changed my account. Once you change, make sure to reload the page. Now click on this. I'll call Shahir Gandu and click on submit. It's going to open the MetaMask, and here I have to simply confirm the transaction. Confirm. And the transaction is in the pending state. Once the transaction will complete, is going to simply redirect me to the index page where I can see Daulat and I can be friend with him. So just wait. The transaction in the pending state, and here it's loading. And finally the transaction is completed. You can see Shahir Gandu is there, and here Daulat is reflecting here. If I go to chat, there is no friend, so I can come back here and I can become a friend with him. I'll say, Daulat, I want to become a friend. I can simply click on this confirm, and the transaction will take place. So you can simply open the MetaMask and you can see that where the transaction is happening, we are in the pending state. Once the transaction will complete, it will redirect to the, and the transaction is completed. You can see, come back to the chat, there you will find Daulat is here. Now I can able to send him message. So I can come back to the code. I'm going to copy the same text and I'll simply come here and I'm going to paste, click on this send, and it's going to open the MetaMask, and I have to simply confirm the transaction. So here we have this one. Click on this confirm, and here we have the loading state. So it's loading. When you test the contract in using Hardhat, the transaction take very fast because it's happening internally, but right now we are doing the transaction on the text network, so the transaction take time. So here we have the loading, which takes a little bit time, and you can simply open a MetaMask to see the transaction is completed, and here you can see the page will reload. If you click on that, you can able to see the message. You can switch back the account to account number 1. You can see the message is also reflecting here. So whenever you change your account, make sure to reload the page. And here we got the message. I can simply send the message as well. So hope you guys have understood that what exactly you have to do when you will get the final source code, and what are the updates we have included. So this is one of the project which you have to include in your portfolio. This is really powerful, which will help you to understand the smart contract and to build a complex smart contract, because we have a lot of contract we have written here and a lot of methods we are using. We are using kbyte, we are using encoded package. So that's all we have included here. So make sure to come and check this particular project. This will teach you every single thing which you have to know to build a chat application in a decentralized ecosystem, and how you can build a complex application. So this is the configuration which I'm going to leave it, and this is what exactly you will get in the final source code, because this is all the update will be provided, and that's what I'm going to simply update in the final source code. So I hope you guys have understood that what exactly you have to do and how you can run this particular application and the final source code when you will get this particular code. So this is the exact process we have to use. So I hope this project will help you to build a better smart contract developer and write a complex smart contract, and how you can build a Dapp on a decentralized ecosystem. So you can come back here and you can simply download the starter file and you can start building the complete project. And I'm going to attach this particular video right up here. So when you will get the final source code, you can simply watch it and you can do the setup. So make sure to download the starter file and start following this complete project. With that, I'm ending this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.